You have another project. You have many that you're doing, but you have another project. It's a web series.
Yes, it's called Legendary, and I'm set to shoot in the fall. But this is another one of those opportunities coming through and being open to it. I got an email a few months back on Facebook from a young writer-director named Jay Lee, and he's based out of Portland, Oregon. And he originally emailed me about an animated web series he was doing that he was looking for voiceover characters for. So I was like, yeah. Waited a couple days, and then I was like, is it a side project? Like, what's the deal? Or, are you offering pay? Who are you? And so he sent me a link, and I checked it out, and I was like, well, this is actually really decent quality stuff for an animated voiceover, some guy in Portland. I'm like, okay. So we're chatting a little bit, and he said he was a fan of Robot Chicken, and that's how he knew who I was. And I was like, okay. Well, then it turns out he has to come to town a couple weeks later for a convention that he was at, and I had a hosting gig. I was hosting a rock and roll show over at the Hard Rock Cafe, and so him and his buddy came down, and so I got to chat with him. Well, then the truth comes out, and so apparently he's been a fan since Deadwood, and like he's been a fan for I guess like 6-7 years now, and I'm like, so you've been stalking me all this time, right? And it's still such a new, strange thing to me to find out, like, there's somebody who's been following my work and been a fan of my work, for a couple projects now. And so now the truth comes out that what he's really got going on is Legendary, and it's a Game of Thrones-esque type web series that's shooting up in Portland. They've already begun. They've already started shooting the teasers and the trailers, and the really super awesome cool thing about this is that he recently went to a panel in Missouri, and George R.R. Martin was on the panel with him. And so Jay got to show him and tell him about the project, and George loved it. And he totally endorsed it. They got him on camera, and so if you look at they have a little trailer on their website right now, and they've got other footage they haven't shown yet, but they've got footage of George R.R. Martin talking about how great Legendary is. And he makes some sort of joke, like, it's very Game of Thrones-esque in like, it's like a tale of, blood and steel or something, and Game of Thrones is like a tale of iron and fire, or vice versa, And so George R.R. Martin makes a joke on the video, and he goes, ice and fire, I like that. Blood and Steel has a better rhyme to it, but and so it's a funny thing, because I could see, had he not got the endorsement of George first, when this web series comes out, people are gonna be like, oh, it's so much like Game of Thrones, But then it's like, well, yeah, but you know what? The master just said like thumbs up, and I like this idea. Nobody's doing anything like this. And the photos are gorgeous, like the locations that they're shooting at. There's this one photo that he just put up where he's directing one of the actresses into a waterfall, and she's like standing behind the waterfall, and this is the land they're shooting on. They have like a castle that they're gonna be allowed to use. And so 2 of my girlfriends have actually been booked on the project as well, Helena Santos-Levy and Stephanie Thorpe. Stephanie will be speaking on the Comic-Con panel with me, and Helen and I have been friends for a very long time, and we've spoken on panels together with the Geek Girls Create panels. And so all 3 of us are cast, and we're going to be shooting this fall. And for a low-budget web series, they're flying us up. They've got flights, accommodations, per diem, salary, it's SAG, it's it's the whole 9 yards. And it's somebody that's not even in Los Angeles, which opened up my eyes back to like Lucas McNally and his A Year Without Rent, and my experience with the Game Over guys in Philly is that there's a lot of stuff going on, not just LA. And what I'm starting to find is that filmmakers from other cities and states are now reaching out to me, because here I am a Los Angeles actress, and I am a SAG actress, and I do have a little bit of following and some credits, but I am totally open to go be in anyone's project anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, and I support that kind of thing. So he's told me a little bit about my character. Her name is Honora, and he basically said if there was a mayor of the town, she would be it, which I think is kind of interesting, because females in that era really didn't have, and she's not royalty though. Her father was a great warrior, and he's known, I don't have all the names in my head, but he's known for defeating this like humongous monstrous creature, and that's like what he's known for. And her mother was, a seamstress in the town, like a very famous seamstress that actually helped create like the initial code on the badges of these warriors. And so I'm assuming that both my parents have now passed away, and I own a lot of properties, one in particular being like the local pub, and as such I get all the like travelers that come through and all the derelicts and all the bad seeds and everybody that comes through, but I also get to overhear lots of conversations to help, you know, the good guys as to what's being planned or who's traveling through our town. So I don't know, it's just, I can't wait. I'm really excited. By the time this airs, the website's going up, and because this hasn't actually been announced, but by the time this airs, this will be announced, and the cast updates will be announced, and press releases are going out, and I just know that we're all really excited to shoot this.